Great day, fam. Coach Ty here, the People's Health and Wellness Coach. And I help working professionals and entrepreneurs 30 years and above find their specific rhythm just for them that, are struggling with setting up a exercise, a workout schedule that fits your specific schedule, shedding those unwanted pounds gained throughout the years, and find time and energy for your loved ones, for friends, let alone yourself, by providing you with healthy habits, tips, tricks, and hacks that'll get you back into those jeans you have hiding in the back of your closet. Really enjoy and love looking at yourself in the mirror again. Shoot, take that vacay you've been planning for months, even years now, and truly and honestly show up and be present with time and energy for yourself, for your loved ones, for your friends, and just those things you love doing the most, but have been putting off for some time now with your new and improved, better balanced body. All right, guys, we're going over chapter 5 in Miss Nedra's The Set Boundaries Workbook. Go ahead and grab those pencils, those pens, that journal, that notebook, and even if you have the workbook, and let's get to it. Chapter 5 is titled Knowing Your Boundaries. It's hard to know when a boundary is being violated, when you don't know you're entitled to set and maintain boundaries at all. In 2020, Black Panther actor Chadwick Boseman died, unfortunately. To fans and many people, it was shocking. Some began to question why Chadwick kept his diagnosis of cancer a secret. On my Instagram account, I wrote this: let's allow Chadwick Boseman to be a shining example of honoring our boundaries. He shared his health issues with the people he chose and continued to live his dream. We can keep things to ourselves. We can be private. Privacy is not secret keeping. It's sharing with trusted loved ones and sharing with others when we are ready. Privacy is a healthy boundary. You do not owe anyone more than you are comfortable sharing. People are not entitled to know your personal business. Privacy is a boundary, and you can share as much or as little as you want. The 6 type of boundaries. Physical. Personal space and physical touch are your physical boundaries. Your physical space is the parameter around your body. We all have a certain level of awareness of our body and what feels comfortable to us. And everyone's needs in terms of physical space are different. People also have different views as to what types of amounts of physical touch are appropriate. These boundaries vary depending on the setting and the situation, the relationship we have with the other person, and our comfort level. But we can tell people our preferences about personal space and physical touch. Sexual. It's never okay to touch anyone's body without consent. And children can never, I repeat, never consent to sexual acts. Touching, making sexual comments, or engaging in sexual acts without express consent violate sexual boundaries. It's never acceptable for children to be placed in any sexual situation. Even a sexual conversation in their presence is not okay. Since children can't communicate sexual limits, adults must adhere to appropriate behavior with children. Unlike other boundaries that need to be spoken to be understood, many sexual ones are unspoken because they are society's rules. These include rape, assault, and molestation. There are laws against forcible sexual acts. However, many things that are not illegal can violate someone's boundaries, such as talking about someone's body in a way that makes them feel uncomfortable. You can speak your boundaries about your body to guide people in communicating with you physically or verbally. Intellectual. Intellectual boundaries refer to your thoughts and ideas. You're free to have an opinion about anything you want. And when you express your opinion, your words shouldn't be dismissed, belittled, or ridiculed. However, staying mindful of what topics are appropriate versus inappropriate in a specific situation is another way of respecting intellectual boundaries. When a parent has an inappropriate conversation with a child, it's an intellectual boundary violation. Remember this: sometimes the boundary is living your life according to your plans for yourself. It's okay to listen to others when what they say is valuable and helpful, but it's also good to stay mindful of who is offering their take about what's best for you. When people tell you what you should do, know that staying on track with your goals is adhering to your boundaries. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this for the people in the back. Remember this: sometimes the boundary is living your life according to your plans for yourself. It's okay to listen to others when what they say is valuable and helpful, but it's also good to stay mindful of who is offering their take about what's best for you. When people tell you what you should do, know that staying on track with your goals is adhering to your boundaries. Emotional. When you share your feelings, it's reasonable to expect others to support you. For some of us, expressing emotions isn't easy. I am actually one of those people. It's me talking. I'm one of those people. It's not that easy for me to express emotions a lot of times. But I try. So when someone belittles your emotions or invalidates your feelings, they are violating your emotional boundaries. This can make you feel uncomfortable the next time you want to express what you feel. With healthy emotional boundaries, you express your feelings and personal information to others gradually, not all at once. This also means you share only when it's appropriate and you choose your confidence carefully. Remember this: sometimes a boundary with yourself means sharing only what you want other people to know while keeping the rest to yourself. You have a right to privacy, even when people request more information. Others don't have to understand your boundaries to honor them. Material. Material boundaries have to do with your possessions. Your stuff is your stuff. If you decide to share your stuff, it's your choice. You also have the right to determine how others treat your possessions. If you loan a tool in good condition to a friend, it's appropriate to expect the tool to be returned in the same shape. When someone returns something worse in a worse condition or doesn't return it at all, they violated your material boundaries. Time. This is a big one. Time boundaries consist of how you manage your time, how you allow others to use your time, how you deal with favor requests, and how you structure your free time. People with time boundary issues struggle with work life balance, self care, and prioritizing their needs. Giving up your time to others is one significant way that you might violate your time boundaries. If you don't have time for something that you want to do, you don't have healthy time boundaries. or healthy boundaries with time, is what she states. Get ready, guys. We're going over the first exercise. So now that you're familiar with the 6 type of boundaries, let's practice. For each of these 6 steps or 6 types, write a boundary that you would like to set for yourself. Physical. I'm going to set a and maintain. This is what I wrote. This is what I wrote as far as physical. I'm going to set and maintain the boundary I have with making sure to work out and stay physically active at least 5 days per week and resting on the 7th day. 3 days consistently in the gym or my home gym. And the 4th and 5th day will be cardio days. Sometimes in the gym, but for the most part in nature. Intellectual. I put this. I will no longer allow and or accept anyone, to include those that are loved ones, to dismiss, belittle, nor ridicule my thoughts or ideas. Yes, you can have your opinions and even voice them if you so choose, but I will not be free but will not be free to dismiss, belittle, nor ridicule my thoughts, ideas, and opinions. Um, as far as sexual boundaries, well, this is between me and my mate, but I've chosen, especially while going through therapy and some other triggers and traumas that come up in therapy. I'm for myself choosing to be abstinent during this process and for some time afterwards, for a specific time, just because you know you feel what you may feel about it, but I know and I've seen and it's been proven honestly that sometimes sex sometimes clouds things and clouds judgment and sometimes muddles things, and um, some people use it as a deterrent so they don't have to talk about things or so they don't have to express their emotions. And I know in the past that was one of my things. So for during therapy and for some time afterwards, just so I can keep a clear head and so I can, do the things that I need to do in order to um, become a better version of myself mentally and emotionally, and just to heal from my previous and past traumas. I'm deciding to abstain from sex for some time. Emotional. The same goes for my emotional boundaries as my intellectual boundaries. I will no longer allow, accept, nor tolerate those that want to dismiss, belittle, and or ridicule my thoughts, ideas, opinions, emotions, and feelings. And this is just me talking. This is what I put. You can put whatever you want to put for your your 6 types, but these are just some things that I wrote down. Material. It is also not okay for someone to return something that I let them borrow in worse conditions than they got them. Like, I'm just a big believer in that. Yeah, I've always been taught that, like, you get something, you return it in the same manner that you got it. But everybody don't have those rules, I guess, or come up that way. And so I continue and say, and most definitely not okay for you not to return said items at all. So either return the item or items in the same condition in which you received it, or be willing to pay for the loss and or damage of said items. And I know that may sound harsh to some people, but this is just how I am with other people's. If someone allows me to borrow something or gives me something for a time and I give it back in the same manner. And if I do damage it, I am willing to pay for it. So for me, If I'm willing to do that and pay for something that I've possibly damaged of yours or lost it, I'm willing to talk to you about how much it costs and, talk to you about, how to get it paid back and how did you can get that item back or items back. I just, I don't know, I'm a big believer in that. So I expect the same thing from others when I'm allowing them to borrow something that I give them. With my time, I put my free time is my free time. My free time is my free time. And if I choose to go do what I want, or even choose to do absolutely nothing on my free time, it's okay. So when I tell you I don't have time to do every single thing that you may want me to do, or even if it's one thing, if I don't have time, just accept that. And it's okay. Because honestly, a lot of times people ask me to do something. And a lot of times I try my best to do it, especially if I do have time. But for those occasions, those sometimes rare occasions when I say no, just accept it. It's okay. There's no reason to get in your feelings about it. There's no real reason to take it personally because you shouldn't. I allow people to tell me that they don't have time for something all the time, and I don't feel no type of way about it. I just don't, because I understand you can do whatever you want to do with your time. I value my time, so I want you to value yours. So if you can't do something for me, that's fine. Let me know. We're good. We can still keep the conversation going right after. But also, I don't always have to have a reason behind it because sometimes it's just, I'm just tired or I just don't want to, or I don't want to that day or for that moment, or, maybe I'm just in a space where I know that I need to be by myself. So, hey, just accept it. If I say I can't do it, I can't do it. And it's okay. Just relax. Be okay with that. And then she gives some other space where you can put, more of your boundaries of the 6 types. All right. Here she says, pause. Take a moment to reflect on your words before moving on. And take a few moments to breathe if you need to. Sometimes it's easier to see when others violate our boundaries, and it's less obvious to see when we're overstepping others' boundaries. Impeding on someone else's boundaries doesn't make you a bad person. Most often it happens because we're unaware of what makes a relationship healthy or unhealthy. Whether you have intentionally or unintentionally violated someone's boundaries, it's essential to be honest with yourself. All right, we're going for the next exercise, guys. You want to take a break? You want to pause? Breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In through your nose, out through your mouth. All right, ready? All right, let's go to this next exercise. She says, I have dishonored other people's boundaries in the following ways. Physical. Listen, don't judge me, guys. Don't judge me. If you do, I mean, it's okay because we all human. We all got something. But I put, as far as physical, I'm not proud of this, but hey, it's my past. It is what it is. We can't, if we could go back and erase our past, I'm telling you, every single one of us would be doing that, but we can't. So it is what it is. You live and you learn, and you try to just be a better version of yourself in the future. And that's all you can do. Ask for forgiveness if you can. If that person is still talking to you, if they're not, then no, ask God for forgiveness, ask yourself for forgiveness, and try to be better next time. But this is what I put in the physical realm of dishonoring or overstepping somebody else's boundaries. In the past, I've gotten into a few physical altercations, especially when I was in grade school. I'm just going to be honest. With someone when I couldn't control my anger. I had anger issues, y'all. I worked through that too. I had to go through anger management and all that stuff. I done, Coach Todd, I've been through some therapies and some counseling and a lot of stuff. But in the past, I've gotten in physical altercations with someone or some people when I couldn't control my anger, or I felt they violated me or disrespected me in some type of way. Sexual, one, I believe it's weird and a little pervy to try to have sex with someone without their consent. So it's a NA for me on this one. I'm big on the whole sexual thing, and I don't believe in violating that. Intellectual. I allow folks to be open and honest. I believe in listening to folks' thoughts, ideas, and opinions. Whether I share their thoughts or feelings on it doesn't matter. To me, I prefer open and honest dialogue. So it's a NA for me here as well, not applicable. Emotional, same here as folks' intellectual boundaries. I listen to people's feelings, thoughts, and opinions. I'm a listener. I like to listen with people, and I like for people to share with me. So I'm an open book and I'm a vault. So if you tell me something, it ain't gonna get out. So material. I believe in returning things the way I've received them, as I stated earlier. But this is what I put for material. And if I damage exactly what I said, and if I damage someone's items accidentally, um, I'm willing to pay for it and or fix it or purchase a new one. That's just me, guys. That's just me. For time, I respect people's free time. If they can't come to something of mine or just don't want to, I say understood and keep going. Even if it's something that's very important to me, I'm gonna be honest. If you say you can't come or you don't have time, hey, I respect it. I understand it. Even if it may hurt my feelings, and I did put this, even if it may hurt my feelings because it's something that's very important to me, I respect their decision and I keep it moving. That's just me. Journal prompt. After acknowledging how you violated someone else's boundaries, write about how these revelations about yourself make you feel. And so I put, my past physical altercations aren't anything I pride myself on. Not at all. Nor have I ever prided myself on it. It was a part of my past when I had a lot of hurt and anger and animosity to work through. And I have already done the work and therapy for that time in my life. And that's what I put. Micro violations. Boundary micro violations are small violations that often occur in everyday encounters. As opposed to long-term relationships, we aren't usually as emotionally affected by them. And they don't spill over into the rest of our days because we view them, or we don't view these encounters as significant. Now, this is micro, MICRO violations, the small ones, what we consider small. So we don't let them spill over to the rest of our day because we don't view these encounters as significant. Micro boundary violations can become more important over time. However, if they are repeated and persistent. Examples of micro boundary violation, she puts. Number one, you decline a lunch invitation from your coworker. Over the next 2 days, your usually chatty coworker doesn't speak to you. I've gone through this. Number two, you are standing in line at the store and trying to maintain a 6-foot distance. Despite signage posted and your attempts to create space, the person behind you is just standing too close. Addressing micro violations eliminates the opportunity for things to evolve into macro, MACRO, macro violations. Also, addressing the micro, MICRO, offense may give you the courage to address the macro, MACRO, offenses. Here's some examples she gives for, or let's say, macro violations. Boundary macro violations are significant. They are significant violations that erode the fabric of our relationships with others. These are long standing and persistent. Their frequency and intensity can even change the structure of the relationship. And then she gives some examples of macro, MACRO, boundary violations. Number one, whenever you discuss financial achievements with your brother, he asks to borrow money. Number two, your parents gossip about your siblings' relationships with their partners. It makes you feel uncomfortable to be involved in the conversation. And y'all know what's coming next. You already know. Exercise. Please list the boundary issues in each category that you've experienced in your relationships. So for me, a micro boundary issue that I listed, I've turned down a lunch invitation of a friend's before because I just needed to get some things knocked out for my schedule. And I'd putting it off for long enough. Now, they said it was okay, but I noticed the next time we talked, the energy on the phone, it just didn't add up. and this went on for a couple of times afterwards. It got back right eventually, but at the end of the day, folks should also understand you have a schedule and things to take care of too. And the same way that I don't hold the grudge, you shouldn't either. But I also understand that everyone handles things at their level of expectation and acceptance levels. So I just continue to give grace and keep being me, pretty much. With a macro, MACRO boundary issue that I've listed. So recently, I mean in the past 10, 11 months recently, I had a family member that kept violating and overstepping the boundaries that I had to clearly set in place to try and salvage our relationship. But this person continued to do what they wanted to do and how they wanted to do it. So I had to respectfully, and respectively distance myself from the person physically. And I had to distance myself from constant communication and being around said family member. For this, I did this because, sorry, I scribbled a little bit. I did this not only for my mental health, but my emotional health and my mental and emotional energy. Also for the respect I have for myself and my boundaries that I have established. I still love you, but I don't have to allow you to continue to disrespect me nor my boundaries. And this is what I put. And so this is at the end, and she says, gather yourself. This chapter encouraged you to look at how your boundaries are violated and how you might violate other people's boundaries. After identifying how you violated someone else's boundaries, practice being compassionate with yourself. Forgive yourself and do better going forward. So in the gather yourself section is kind of like a journal section, how you feel. And this is what I wrote. I've come to realize after even setting boundaries for myself and the sanity of my mental and emotional well-being, that it's okay to distance yourself from folks that don't and continue to disregard your boundaries. Even if the person you're distancing yourself from is a family member, friend, sometimes maybe intimate partner, or any other loved one or friend, loved one. Just because I love you doesn't mean I have to let you continue to disrespect me or disregard my boundaries and emotional and mental stability. I love you, but I'm no longer interested in allowing folks to take me and my life and well being for granted. So, guys, I know that was a lot. That was chapter 5. Woo! After every chapter, I have to exhale. Wait to exhale. No, but I really like this workbook, Miss Nedra Glover to Wild. Thank you for the book and the workbook. This is really helpful, really impactful, even in my life right now. Um, this book and the workbook couldn't have come at a better time for me, honestly, with my recent events and me recently having to enter into therapy for, like I said, some past traumas and things like that. But guys, let me know how you feeling. Let me know how you felt, what you thought with chapter 5. You know, what are your feelings? What are your emotions while you were reading or listening and journaling? Drop those comments below. Let me know how you feel. Let me know how I can help. I'm here for you guys. Coach Ty, the People's Health and Wellness Coach, man. That's serious. I don't take that lightly. I'm really here to help. And in helping, I want to be as transparent as possible in case that can help more people. I don't even care if it's just helping one person, man. If I can just help one person to be a better, healthier version of themselves, hey, I'm glad, I'm happy, I'm excited. I am. But again, let me know how you feel, guys. Drop those comments below. Let me know what you think or what I can help you with or any questions you may have. Again, don't forget to share, like, subscribe. Make sure to continue to do the work, guys. It's worth it. It's worth it. And again, if you know that you can't handle it on your own, call somebody. Anybody, call a friend, call a family member. If you don't have a friend or family member that you can confide in safely and honorably, and you know they're not gonna tell anybody else, or if you feel secure in telling them, go for it. If you don't, hey, call that number. Go on Google. Like I said, hey, I did betterhelp.com, but that don't mean you have to. But just find somebody, anybody that you can confide in and walk through your hurts and pains and emotions, and so you can become a better, healthier version of yourself. Remember, guys, health and wellness is a lifestyle, not just a diet. Again, many peace, much peace and blessings your way. Until next time, guys, have fun. Take care. Coach Todd out.